In modern organizations, one of the most common leadership challenges is finding the right balance between control and autonomy. This tension often shows up as micromanagement versus macromanagement. Both approaches aim to drive performance, but they operate very differently. Understanding when each style is appropriate and when it becomes counterproductive is essential for anyone responsible for leading people and delivering results. Micromanagement occurs when a leader closely observes, directs, and controls the details of their team's work. It often includes frequent check-ins, step-by-step instructions, and approval at every stage. While this approach can create clarity and reduce errors in high-risk environments, it can also signal a lack of trust if applied excessively. In practice, micromanagement feels like constant oversight. A manager reviews every email before it is sent. They rewrite presentations. They ask for daily progress updates on routine tasks. Over time, team members may hesitate to make decisions independently, waiting instead for instructions. Productivity slows and initiative declines. However, micromanagement is not always negative. In situations involving new employees, regulatory compliance, safety procedures, or high-stakes client deliverables, close supervision can prevent costly mistakes. The issue is not the presence of oversight, but the consistency of it. When control becomes the default rather than the exception, it limits growth. Macromanagement represents the opposite end of the spectrum. Here, leaders focus on outcomes rather than methods. They define expectations, clarify objectives, and provide resources, but they allow the team to determine how the work gets done. The emphasis shifts from monitoring activity to measuring results. In a macromanagement environment, professionals are trusted to manage their time, solve problems, and collaborate independently. A manager may set quarterly goals, align on key performance indicators, and schedule milestone reviews, but daily decisions remain with the team. This autonomy often increases engagement and accountability. Yet macromanagement also carries risks. Without clear direction, teams may drift. Priorities can become misaligned. Less experienced employees may struggle without structured guidance. When leaders step too far back, ambiguity replaces empowerment. Results suffer not because of incompetence, but because of insufficient clarity. Effective leadership does not sit permanently at either extreme. Instead, it requires situational judgment. Early in a project, more direction may be necessary. As competence and confidence increase, control should decrease. Leaders must continuously assess skill level, task complexity, and risk exposure before deciding how closely to engage. The most effective managers are deliberate about shifting between micro and macro approaches. They communicate expectations clearly, establish measurable outcomes, and agree on review intervals. They intervene when standards are at risk, but they avoid solving problems that their teams are capable of resolving independently. Ultimately, the goal of leadership is not control, it is capability. Micromanagement builds short-term precision. Macromanagement builds long-term capacity. When applied thoughtfully, both approaches serve a purpose. The key is balance. Enough structure to protect results, and enough autonomy to develop people who can deliver them. If this session was helpful, please like the video and share it with your network. Subscribe for more practical and insightful episodes. Thank you for watching.